What's going on, guys? The original Mako back with not Gunfire Reborn content. I am going to start covering all news, updates, gameplay when it happens of Godfall. As you can see right now, we're on the Godfall Twitter. Well, you can't see right now because we're doing the intro full cam. But I'm on the Godfall Twitter, and I'm going to be going through some of the news that they've announced so far. And I'm going to start doing update videos every time they post a new update. I'm starting it today because they did post another update today, although that's not the main thing we're going to be diving into for the first video of Godfall. I'm going to go ahead and switch over, so let's just jump into it. And the first thing I'll say is they categorize it as a third-person fantasy looter slasher focused on melee combat, coming to PS5 and Epic Games Store Holiday 2020. As soon as I saw this game, it spoke to me. I love loot-based games, and a melee-focused loot-based game that's like a RPG type thing as well is really, really cool. And today, 6 hours ago, they posted 9 minutes of Godfall PS5 gameplay. The full video's on their Twitter if you want to go look at it. I'm not going to be covering that today because there's kind of a written breakdown of the first half of what they go through in this video. The new stuff in this video is getting to see all the weapons and different combos. So if you want to see that type of stuff, go watch that video. But I'm going to be going through their interview that they did with GameSpot, where they talk about Valor plates, the weapon classes, how many enemy types there are, and the haptic feedback, and a few more stuff in here that I want to go over. So let's just start. I'm not going to read through everything. I'm just going to go through some of the stuff that I think is interesting. Right here, it starts with perhaps the most interesting thing about Godfall is its combination of genres. Counterplay says it all. Godfall as expanding on action RPGs and loot games to create something new, a looter slasher, which sounds just awesome. And first of all, just get a look in all their videos and all these pictures. The world just looks so good. So he does a little talk about merging looting third-person combat or third-person melee combat with like loot and tight combat mechanics, because their team kind of likes skill-based action combat and also like Diablo type games and Borderlands type games with the loot. So they wanted to mix them together and create something a little bit different. Mastering the broad combat system is going to be a big part of the experience. So it's not just going to be like a Destiny 2 where you just get new weapons and they all shoot. Like it's all the same thing. It's going to be kind of like a Dark Souls in the sense that there's a huge combat system that you need to get good at to be good at the game. But there's also loot to go along with it that helps you, progress and kill things faster and more often. Valor plates is the main loot part of the experience. There's also weapons, but Valor plates is the armor at the core of Godfall's gameplay. There are 12 Valor plates for you to unlock as you play Godfall, each with its own set of specific stats, a passive buff for your character, and an Archon ability, which is basically like a super or an ultimate ability, which is really, really cool. So each different Valor plate offers some sort of different play style for your character, and has a bunch of different stats and stuff for you. And like it says, you'll want to choose the right Valor plate for a given mission or for your role in the group if you're playing with co-op. That's pretty awesome. I like that. That's kind of cool. A lot of different things you'll be able to do with that. They're leaving good room to be able to add a lot more in to it as well. So I think that's awesome and really, really good. As it keeps going, your character has an overall level that you'll increase as you play. Rather than leveling up your individual Valor plates, increasing your level unlocks skill points. You can put on a skill grid. And as in loot-driven action RPGs, you'll find stronger weapons as you play, but you'll need to keep increasing your level to access them. If you find ones you like, you can use crafting materials to increase their power by upgrading them in the Seventh Sanctum, your character's home base. So that's pretty cool. The loot stuff sounds awesome. Really, really good. And they go into a little more detail about it. It was less about generating an infinite number of combinations, such as like a Borderlands type game, but thinking their loot a little bit more like Monster Hunter World or like God of War, where it's more specific. But each piece of loot is very meaningful or impactful if you slot it into your Valor plate or if you get a very specific weapon. So it's more, like it says, more about the quality of the loot rather than just infinite quantity, which I like. I do like having a lot of loot to grind for, but having each piece be important and has a role in some way is really, really cool. And like it says, it focuses on melee combat. You'll be looking to control the battlefield, prioritize some enemies over others, and create combos. It includes more than 90 kinds of enemies, so you have a lot of combinations coming at you, and learning to skillfully deal with them is a big focus of the gameplay. The big thing that I want is going down here. The idea of Godfall is that you're always pushing forward, prioritizing enemies, and leaning into your attack. You'll face tough one-on-one fights, though. So you'll still face tough one-on-one fights, though. So they prioritize, unlike a Dark Souls game that prioritizes like being defensive and dodging, this game prioritizes you attacking. It wants you to push forward and be aggressive. It rewards that. So you're basically going to be fighting more than one enemy at once pretty often. So you're going to be able to do a lot of really cool combos. You don't have to worry as much about dodging and blocking. It's still an important part of the game, but you're going to be rewarded for using your attacks more than your defenses, which is really cool, really awesome, a new take, a new way to do it. But like it says, you're not going to be like overpowered. You still have tough one-on-one fights. It's divided into missions that you'll choose from your home base along with your loadout. Story missions will have mid and end bosses you'll face. And then you have hunt missions where you track down and face other bosses. So expect some big fights that are different from the many against one battles with enemies you'll find along the way. Going after and taking on bosses is one of the big structural elements, and you can expect a whole lot of them, which is good. I like that. That's huge. Story missions have their own set of bosses that are different from the ones in the hunt missions. And all that is part of the mission to climb the Skybreaker monolith at the center of Godfall and kill the Mad God. So lots of bosses. That's awesome. That's huge. Obviously, they're leaving room to add a lot more bosses in the future and just more content in general. And then it just talks about the haptic response. So if you have vibration on, this is kind of cool. The fact that if you're sliding across the ground, depending on the surface of material, you might slide on gravel or sand or water. The way the vibrations work really feel the way those surfaces would feel. So kind of more immersive. You can get immersed into the game a little bit more if you choose to have vibrations on. So a lot of really, really good things coming from that article about the game. And like I said, there's been a few different gameplay videos. The main one I want to show is just this little GIF, whatever, right here. Because just look at how good the world looks. In the trailer they released today, they talk about how the world's divided into fire, air, water, and earth. It's like 4 different areas of the world. It's just divided, kind of like, Avatar or whatnot. And then they also, like I said, go through the weapon combos and all sorts of other stuff. The first part of the video is kind of talking about what that article talked about being offensively aggressive and rewarding you for that, and the Valor plates. But then it gets into the weapons and the good stuff about it. The only thing I'll say, because I don't want to watch the video and then dive into too much, maybe I'll save that for another one, or I'll just want you guys to go watch it and experience it for yourselves. But the 5 weapon classes are... you see 2 right here, long swords, dual blades. There's a 2-handed warhammer, a 2-handed greatsword, and there's also the one that I am now forgetting. But those are 4 of the 5. If you want to find the 5th one, just go to their Twitter and watch this video. The game plans on coming out holiday 2020, like I said. Looks really good. I cannot wait. I'm super excited. Also, don't worry, Gunfire Reborn content's not going anywhere. I just wanted to start covering some news for Godfall because I can't wait for this game to come out. Hopefully you guys are excited. I know I'm extremely excited. There's also a deal going on where when you buy an AMD Radeon RX 5000 series graphics card, you get Godfall with it. So could be a chance to upgrade your system and get the game that's going to look so good on the system that you upgrade. So that's all I've got for today. I can't wait for this game to come out. I'm super excited. I will keep you guys posted on every update that they have to share. It's going to be a lot of fun kind of going through their process and seeing more and more stuff they release as it gets closer to release day. So if you want to hear more Godfall news, see more Godfall stuff, just make sure to follow, like, subscribe, all sorts of stuff. I'll keep you guys in the loop on everything Godfall related, as well as Gunfire Reborn and potentially Risk of Rain. I don't know about that one yet. That one's still on the edge. But if you want to catch me doing live Gunfire Reborn runs, or Fall Guys just came out, I'm playing that a little bit too. Check me out at Twitch, twitch.tv/TheOriginalMako. The link will be in the description. So follow me there if you want to see some of that stuff live. But if not, make sure to sub. I'll be bringing plenty more Godfall news as soon as it comes out. Day of release news video time. That made about no sense. But thank you guys for watching. I love your faces, and I will catch you guys in the next one.